All right, so we are here in a blue room, I guess, with Phil from As I Lay Dying in Colorado. So how's the tour going?
The tour's going great. Almost done, so just another week left and we'll be home. But we started the tour in Fort Collins, and then we've gone all the way to New York, down to Florida, and then back to Springs.
So I take it because you've played so many Colorado shows in one tour, too, I guess. Do you guys like playing Colorado?
Yeah, the shows are always great. The fans always go crazy. Yeah, that's all you can really.
Yeah, that's good. So your new album is, well, it's been out, but it's the newest album, I guess. So how does it compare to your other albums, would you say?
It's definitely, I guess, consistently aggressive throughout the album. I view it as kind of a continuation from the previous album, An Ocean Between Us. So it's got a lot of those same elements, but we also kind of mix things up a little bit here and there, and didn't stray too far from what the sound we're known for, I guess. But we're always trying to include newer things to keep things interesting for the listener.
So, I mean, how do you stay, I guess, fresh without seeming repetitive or something? Because it's, I like metal just as much as the next person, but metal is really easy to get repetitive and stale. So how do you guys stay fresh and interesting for the audience to hear?
Don't listen to metal so much when you're, at least I don't, when I'm trying to write it. I'm not listening to things that I really want. I don't want to take influence or inspiration from something that's too similar. I want to go a little bit outside the box and then see if an idea can work, kind of morphing it into a more aggressive style, I guess. So, there's a lot of good metal out there, but it's definitely, I guess it's getting a little diluted these days, and just a whole lot of the same stuff right now.
So if I was a young kid and I'm in a metal band, what advice do you have for this band to kind of get noticed in a market that's over flooded with, metal? How do you become different?
It starts with the songs. You have to have something that, people are going to want to listen to, and give them a reason, really to check your band out. And, you have to work hard. You have to be dedicated to what you're doing. And, I think if you're passionate about what you're doing, fans can sense that, and they want to be a part of that as well. So, it's a very interesting time for metal. So, if you really, if you want to get noticed, you really, I guess, have to step it up and be offering something a little bit more special.
So, like we were saying, it's kind of a interesting time for metal. So, I remember when I got into your band, it was like an explosion of, metalcore, Killswitch, As I Lay Dying stuff. How do you feel about how it's kind of taken a turn, and kids have been taking this metalcore and morphing it into what we have now?
It's a little bit more extreme, I guess. A lot more technical, a lot of guitar playing, like fast shredder guitar playing, a lot of fast drumming and stuff like that. It's cool. It's I think a lot of the younger generation, they kind of have grown to resent what metalcore was. And, it happens with every I guess musical trend or whatever. Yeah.
Back in the day.
Back then, metalcore back then, used to be really exciting and stuff. And, even for us, we've been, trying to slowly progress and do something, that's not the same as what we've been doing. So, as long as, people are doing music that they enjoy, then cool. That's pretty much all you can do. And, it's cool for us to, keep making a living doing it. So.
So do you guys try to get away from being labeled as metalcore, or you just try to make music and?
Yeah, just make music. People want to call. We don't think we're metalcore anymore. I know we're rooted in all that stuff, but we've grown, I think, beyond what the typical metalcore was defined as.
So, an interesting question. I don't want to get too political on you, but interesting question I'd like to ask bands. A couple months ago, AP Magazine did a article on actually how bands are making a living and what kind of things that they're trying to do in this economy to kind of combat costs but give the kids a good show. So I mean, what kind of stuff are you guys doing that, kind of, I don't want to say, making you guys seem cheap, but, I mean, kids aren't, buying stuff like they used to. So what kind of stuff are you doing there?
Yeah, I mean, you can't really just go out and have, you don't have as big of a budget for a lot of things as you used to. So, I mean, you just have to be really smart if you're going to cut corners. You definitely don't want to compromise, like, the integrity of what our live show has become throughout the years, or, what our albums have become. But you definitely try to save money everywhere you can and be smart about it. You see a lot of young bands coming up, and they're just throwing money, away, and it's just like, you don't realize that you're not always going to have this. So you just got to be smart with it. Touring, being smart with your merchandise is just, I guess, everything. There's not just like one thing that, we're doing this. Everything has to change. So, we're still surviving, still, doing what we're doing. We're touring most of the year. So I think that's. Oh no. We're fortunate enough to. I mean, we wouldn't have time for day jobs, I guess. So touring. I mean, that's the big thing. We've become kind of an international band, so we're fortunate enough we can go. When kids are tired of hearing us in the U.S., we'll go. Australia. Well, Europe is our second biggest market. A lot of German fans out there. Japan, Australia, South America. We'll go everywhere, and as long as there's fans, willing to make the show worthwhile financially, and just awesome fans, we'll be there.
So, what advice would you have for a band that maybe is starting out and they don't have the kind of support that you guys have to kind of get to touring and putting out albums and merch and stuff like that when they don't have a lot of money?
Well, it doesn't really take much money these days, because the internet, just the online, social networks and stuff. Like, as long as you know how to handle all that, you can get your name out a lot quicker than what you used to be able to. So I guess utilizing those sources online is one of the biggest things. That's pretty much a lot. The first step for a lot of bands these days is like, oh, they're big online. Oh, they have this many plays on their MySpace. Okay, well, now they're out touring, and they're, they'll get an offer from a label, and that's just kind of how it goes.
I love your optimism. Usually people are like, I don't know. Cool. So, Powerless Rise, out currently. And can we expect a new album anytime soon?
You can expect... trying to put together this 10-year anniversary sort of, I guess it's kind of like an EP, but there's going to be more than 5. I think EP and like 5-6 songs. There's definitely going to be more than that. We'll have some new stuff, some covers, some remixes, just an assortment of things for fans to have something. We can give something to the fans on our 10-year anniversary, and then just kind of keep things alive for us a little bit longer. So.
Well, thank you so much for doing this, and you can check out the tour. I guess no, you can't, because by the time this goes up, you won't be able to check it out. But next time you can check out pictures and this entire interview, as well as links and anything you want to know. If you don't know anything about As I Lay Dying while you're watching this interview, but if you do, then your source for As I Lay Dying is monsterbox.com.